Phoenix Suns last year were 45-37, finishing 4th in the West. They were a good team already, but then they decided to make the trade for Kevin Durant that was rumored even before the season started. They gave up Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and I think some other pieces to do it, but they got Kevin Durant, and they were winning a lot of games when they had Kevin Durant. They eventually did lose in 6 to the Nuggets in the second round, but still, it was an overall W of a season. And in the offseason, they got straight to making moves. The only people who remained on this team from last year were Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, and Kevin Durant. Wild, but it's true. They got Bradley Beal in a trade where they had to give up Chris Paul. They signed Bol. Yes, they signed Bol. They traded for Nurkic. They signed Eric Gordon. They signed Yuta Watanabe. They traded for Grayson Allen. They traded for Nasir Little. They got a lot of new pieces on this team. First of all, of course, the star power is the big thing. Their starting lineup is probably going to be, because they said they're going to run Bradley Beal at the 1, which makes sense. So they're going to have Bradley Beal, D-Book at the 2, Josh Okogie at the 3, KD at the 4, and Nurkic at the 5. KD is a top 10 player. He's been a top 10 player in the NBA for over a decade. Devin Booker is Devin Booker. He's probably, debatably, the best shooting guard in the NBA right now. And Bradley Beal is Bradley Beal. We saw him average 30 a game, and now he's given that point guard role where he's not going to have to be relied on to score as much. Because when he averaged 30, he was doing good, but the team wasn't great. And now he's not being relied on as the first scoring option. He can play off the ball because he was in a duo with John Wall, who handled the ball a lot of the time, and he was still able to succeed and help them win games. So now he'll have the opportunity to handle the ball, but also to play off the ball and get more opportunities shooting. His efficiency may go up, and I really expect Devin Booker to take a jump with his playmaking this year, because of course Bradley Beal is the official point guard, but Devin Booker is the guy I expect to handle the ball a lot more, because he is the real most intriguing piece of this team. Because in recent years, well, first of all, we saw him as a scorer when he dropped 70 like 7-8 years ago. We saw that he can score the ball, but his team wasn't winning. And then 2020, they made it to the bubble. He was still getting buckets, and they won some games, just barely missed the playoffs though. So then the team finally decided to get him help. They got Chris Paul. They made the finals. They made a few good or decent playoff runs, but didn't really get farther or as far as they wanted to. And now, here we are in 2023. Devin Booker, it's his team now, really, because even though Kevin Durant is here, Devin Booker really is the leader of this team. He's the one who's been here the longest, and he's probably going to be the guy looked at to take the reins, because Kevin Durant's, of course, Kevin Durant, but at the same time, I see Devin Booker still, because like when you go to the Warriors teams, of course Kevin Durant, he won the Finals MVPs, but Curry was the leader of that team. The Nets was a different story because he was going into a situation where the other two best players were new as well. But it's like if Kevin Durant went to the Thunder, I'd still, well, that's ironic, but I'd still look at Shea as the leader of that team because he's the main guy who's been there, and he's the leader, he's the one looked at to handle the ball and to control, kind of like be the leader of the team, you know what I'm saying? So Kevin Durant, of course, might be the best player on the team, but D-Book is going to be the leader of the team. And D-Book might be able to progress to become the best player on the team, because he's going to, I think he said he was going to his 9th or 10th season, which is absolutely ridiculous. And now he's gonna, he's not really a young player anymore, but he's still able to progress. He still can reach that level of top 10 player in the league if he isn't even there already. He's definitely a top 15 player in the league right now, but he can reach even higher levels. So we'll see what D-Book does this year. I expect him to take a big jump. Of course, we know he can score the ball, but I expect him to take a big jump as just the guy who can do it all. Who can score, rebound, play make, defend, and do his thing. I don't expect him to win MVP or nothing, because with the stars on this team, you're not going to get one of these guys winning MVP. Chances are, at least. Unless he has a really good year. But I can see Devin Booker definitely being, at least in the MVP, like in the votes. He could be definitely a top 5 MVP candidate if he really tried. But we'll see, man. I just expect Devin Booker to be the leader and take the responsibility for this team. And Kevin Durant's just going to be Kevin Durant, man. He just needs to get buckets, play defense, do what Kevin Durant does, you know what I'm saying? And that big three right there is going to be nasty. That's enough to get you one of the top seeds in the league, as long as they stay healthy. And then you look at the rest of the team. At first, I was unsure about the success of this team because of the supporting pieces. I didn't believe in the supporting pieces that they got before the offseason. And now, they definitely upgraded that. I mean, they had Josh Okogie before, but they traded for Jusuf Nurkic. Jusuf Nurkic isn't exactly the guy you would need on the Suns team, because you have a bunch of offensive weapons. What you're going to need is a defensive guy. And Josh Okogie can definitely play defense, but you also want defense in the post. And Nurkic isn't the great defender in the post, but he can be a decent starting center on days, because when he was at his best as a starting center, the Blazers made the conference finals. So if he can just do what he needs to do for this team, maybe play some defense, score, not really score low, just be a good center to hold it down low, that's all they really need from him, man. Then you got the bench. Eric Gordon is a really great signing because he's a guy who could just get buckets off the bench. And I mean, I don't expect too much from him because this is old Eric Gordon. This isn't like 10 years ago Eric Gordon. This is an older Eric Gordon than what we had before. And he could still be pretty good. It's just I don't expect too much from him. I don't expect him to be like 6th man of the year type stuff. I mean, if he is, but like, I don't expect him to do too much. I just expect him to play his role, shoot the ball efficiently, and just bring some energy off the bench. And then you got Yuta Watanabe, another amazing shooter. He was one of the greatest shooters, or not greatest, best shooters in the league last year. So I definitely expect to see him playing his role, doing his part, doing what he needs to, hitting threes for this team. And then they also got Bol. And Bol is a guy who lots of people had questions about, because everybody's seen the highlights of Bol, but we don't really know if he can be consistently a good NBA player. There's a reason he was going from team to team, and he's now found his way to the Suns. And I don't think he's going to be bad, but I don't think he's going to be as good as a lot of people think he is going to be. At first I was thinking, oh yeah, Bol on this team is an amazing signing. I can't believe they got him. And now I'm kind of like, I mean, okay, this is Bol. I mean, it's not like he's an amazing player, but it's going to be cool. It still could be a nice little signing because he's long, he's lengthy, he can play some defense, and we've seen what he can do on the offensive side of the ball when he is at his best. So this could definitely be very, very good. The bench, those 3 players individually, honestly, on that bench are pretty good offensively, or like really good offensively, pretty good defensively. So right there, that's already pretty good. You also have Grayson Allen, who was a really good piece for the championship-winning Bucks, who just won a ring like 2 years ago. You got Nasir Little, who could be solid. You got Keita Bates-Diop, who could be pretty decent. You got Damian Lee, who was also a piece on the championship team. So honestly, they filled in the bench pretty well here. And I like the changes that they made this offseason. There's one thing that I am unsure about, because they don't have that many great playmakers. But I expect Beal and Booker to take most of the playmaking role, I guess. I still am unsure about the playmaking for this team. We'll see if they can make it work. But sometimes you do need a guy to facilitate the offense. And if they don't have that, I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see, though. If Bradley Beal and Devin Booker can really handle that playmaking role, that's a W. And this team is going to be really, really good. But really, their best strength is their offense, their shooting, and their depth isn't bad. Their depth is definitely a lot better than it was last year. So I definitely expect this Suns team to be a top team in the West. My predictions are gonna come out sometime in the next 24 hours, but when you'll see where I rank them then. I'm gonna say they're definitely a top team in the West. And that's about all I have to say. Tell me what you think about the Suns down below in the comments. I know there's a lot of people who don't believe in them because the depth isn't enough, the defense, whatever it is. But I do think that they can be very, very good. But tell me what you think. I want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Comment down below any tips, tricks, or topics that you have me talk about on this channel. And turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. That'll be for me today. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.